So if you're generally comfortable with the MOU and the kind of parameters that we have here, you could make it very clear that if there's a motion, we don't know how this goes, that the board could vote to support the proposal with a report to follow. And at some point we then draft a revised report, and also make it very clear that it's only subject to, or strongly worded somehow that this is without input from council. And that basically if there's something they say has to be in, then that's it. It's got to be in, and if we can't reach an agreement, then there is no support from the planning board without agreed upon MOU with language that's acceptable to council. And then somebody could go to the Wednesday night meeting and make that presentation verbally to the FinCom. It's really kind of Ed's and Viking's burden to convince the FinCom to do it Wednesday night, not necessarily the boards.
I think there have been some changes, and we think that this is a very good proposal. I objected to some things in the MOU after reading through it because they really had nothing to do with zoning. And so I just said I'm not going to do it in consultation with my client. And as David Gilbart, who's here, pointed out, we have this 47 acres of land that's producing maybe $5,000 or less than $5,000 in taxes. The 37 acres sitting out front of the Home Depot is producing close to $500,000 in taxes. Not to say anything about the jobs and that sort of thing that it produces. We filed a petition to change the zoning to highway commercial. I had put a provision in there to have anything over a certain size be a special permit. I think it was 10,000 square feet, so that smaller proposals could go forward, but larger proposals would have to be a special permit. But I did it for the entire zoning district, which apparently several people objected to, and I said, well, all right, I'll drop that particular part of it. You all know where it is. You can see the purple squiggly lines over on the upper left-hand corner. And the green is your current highway commercial zoning. The reddish-brown is industrial. And you've got the purple, which is rural residential.
I've said before, and I still believe it to be true, that it's, I have no kind of basic problem with the Home Depot commercial development being extended. I don't see any reason not to, stepping back and looking at it from the big picture. The concerns that I have really have to do with the way the process has unfolded and the significance of a decision like this by the planning board to the way we approach zoning and the way we encourage landowners basically to attempt to rezone the town unilaterally.
I don't think this board should move in this direction until we measure this against standards. There are many standards available from hundreds of impact fee studies that this country has done on the square footage of retail and the square footage of office per person. Square footage of retail, and I'll take issue with Ed's figure, retail is no benefit to the community. It's a negative benefit when you look at the net effect. Office is a small positive effect. But we don't know if we have enough according to the standards, or we have too much. And my guess is, from the look of everything in demise here, that we have way too much. So I think, this board should consider that thing before changing the zoning to that.
The big problem is no one would spend $1 million fixing the southbound exit ramp, the interchange with Country Drive and Home Depot Drive and Long Pond Road. As Mr. Mueller said, that is a critical intersection right now. And the two that are negative are the southbound slip ramp coming out off Route 3 in the intersection of Long Pond Road, Home Depot Drive, and the transfer station road. So if that isn't corrected, and corrected soon, all of the potential development you're talking about further down Long Pond Road, if it were to happen, I'm not saying we would file an appeal, but I would be quite surprised if the planning board will allow development, knowing that these are two intersections that actually fair. I hope, and I can't make a commitment because we all know, we don't know where the economy is going, whether it's locally in the town of Plymouth or the state or federally, but if the economy comes back, we are still talking to people now that express interest in going in there. And our hope is it happens sooner, obviously, rather than later. But if you're right, and it's something that took a period of time, I think the development you're talking about would be precluded from happening because of the traffic issues that we're going to correct. And I don't think anybody coming along Long Pond Road is going to spend $1 million fixing two things that are right now wrong or need to be fixed for any future development, not just the development of the acreage we're talking about. But if you, in point of fact, if there's a redevelopment down Holman Road and they would build 5-story buildings down there, it would be a critical issue. We already have a problem with Holman Road, but even with the light and these other things, I don't know how you can handle that. And as a planning board, I don't know what you'd do or where the money would come from for the $1 million we're looking at to fix the problem now. So I think there is a way that this goes together with a rezoning that can correct the problem and allow future development.